So I got up extra early this morning, and I decided, you know what, let's go read One Piece before I go get some food and get some coffee. Let's, read some One Piece. So I sit down, as soon as I wake up, like I'm half asleep and groggy, I sit down and read the chapter One Piece, and I'll tell you what, as soon as I finished the chapter, I was wide awake without my coffee. I was wide awake because this chapter, the amount of potential, like right now, with this, is insane. We all did not see this coming. We were all speculating and saying, okay, so Rebecca might become a crew member, Barto might become a crew member, Cavendish might become a crew member. We were all speculating who would become a crew member of the Straw Hat Pirates. We were all very wrong. Very, very, very wrong. We come to find out that this is, which was hinted at, it was implied and hinted at, but I didn't expect to see it so soon. Luffy has finally gotten a fleet. He has a fleet. All these gladiators that participated in the tournament, the Colosseum, is now, majority of them are now working underneath Luffy. This right here is the start of an emperor. Like, Whitebeard, we remember his armies he had underneath him, and we know Shanks probably has some underneath him, and then, Kaido and Big Mom. We know they must all have their own crew underneath them, and to see how Luffy finally has stepped into the line of being a commander of an entire fleet, this is a very good move in great direction for One Piece. Here's the scary thing. Here is the scary thing about this, okay? And so there's not going to be any chapter One Piece next week, which has me puzzled. Because knowing Oda, he loves doing something crazy when it comes to, chapter 600, 700, 500. You get my point. He loves doing crazy things on those type of chapters. Usually either a reveal, a start of an arc, or something like that. I mean, I wonder what we're going to see for chapter 800 when it finally comes around. We'll see. Now, the thing is, okay, when it comes to this week's chapter of One Piece, to see how Luffy, his adventures on this island of Dressrosa, wasn't just to take down Doffy, but to make a fleet. It changes my entire perspective of this arc, completely. This lets me know that all these individual gladiators in the Colosseum, these characters we have met along the way, are not just there for the arc. They are there for the rest of the journey. This is a great thing. The majority of these characters we saw in this arc, we all thought that were just going to be fodder or pushed to the side later on. Eventually, they might come up for the final arc of the series, and that's pretty much it. That's what we all thought was probably going to happen because the way these characters are introduced, and looking back at previous arcs of One Piece, usually there's characters introduced in an arc, and then you don't see them for a while until, way down the road when something very important happens. And that's kind of what I thought was going to happen with these characters. Come to find out, they're going to be traveling with Luffy to the next island. They're traveling. They're getting on their ships and they're traveling. Luffy has a fucking fleet. And this is already the setup for the match against Kaido. Because as we know, Luffy and Law are going to be going after Kaido. And we already saw the setup with, what's going on with Sanji and his group. So yeah, I mean, we have a fleet. We're going after Kaido. And now expectations are at an all-time high. Beautiful chapter One Piece. And I cannot wait to see what Oda's going to come out with in the next chapter. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. How do you all feel about what Oda did with this chapter? How do you feel about, the Fujitora with the Luffy fights? How Luffy was pitying Fujitora, and he's like, hey, I'm announcing my attacks. I'll punch you in the face, I'll kick you in the stomach, different things like that. And Luffy was kind of honoring Fujitora. But alongside of that, we also kind of find out some shocking information about Fujitora. Fujitora took his own eyes. Yeah, he took his own eyes. I thought it was something else entirely, but we come to find out Fujitora was so sickened by the darkness of humanity in the world that he took his own eyes. Damn. This chapter wasn't just good for the fleet introduction, but it was also good for the Fujitora scenes. I didn't expect to see Fujitora reveal the reason behind him being blind. And then Luffy being honorable, and then Fujitora laughing his ass off. Some great stuff. Yeah, this chapter of One Piece, I have to say, fucking solid. I cannot wait to see where it's going to go next week, or 2 weeks from now, because next week's break. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.